very slanted today. There we go. How are we, guys? How are we all keeping? I hope you're all doing well. Don't know how long we're going to be on the live tonight. An awful lot of people are away. Some of my friends and subscribers are at the Victory Show this weekend, and some are at Beamish, which is another big show that's on this weekend. I will be in England following weekend. I will be at We Have Ways show. So if you're there, pop along, say hello, and you're more than welcome. I'm drinking water out of a non-sponsored bottle. I can't believe you have to say all this stuff for YouTube and stuff for live streams and things. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the poo, like I did the time I was showing props. We got banned for a week. So yeah. So how's everyone doing? I have been under the weather the last few days. Uber Lieutenant Stan is here. Hello, Stan. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. I keep saying it. I have a box here, Stan, for you that I need to post. I do need to post it. There's actually stuff under here that needs to be done. And then I got this back because, if any of you remember, I started a part 1 on the restoration of this, which is a First World War shell, Brody shell, that was reconditioned and repurposed for the Second World War. So I ran out of, so it's primer on the proper primer on the front, but it's got silver care primer underneath because I ran out of primer. So hopefully we'll be getting this finished over the weekend, and we will be putting a video up on it. It's been a while, but we're getting there. I could make it into a lampshade, which would be quite nice. Hello Gabe, how are we doing? And Gary Hall, hello, how are you? How's everyone keeping? So yeah, so that's it. So there's a couple of videos coming up this week. Command Bunker, hello Command Bunker, how are you? I hope you're doing well as well also. I will probably see you over the weekend at some point in time. Probably tomorrow. More than likely, definitely tomorrow. I just have to figure out time. Good man, John. I've received this week pair of Repo jack boots, 2 helmets, an NVA towel, and 2 German torches. Been busy. Yeah, I bought myself a vintage suitcase. This will tell you, like, this is just a little interesting lesson, right? So, advertised on eBay vintage suitcase. Now I have found somebody that I can give it to, and it's not too big of a deal. Vintage suitcase. I was going to get it. Wasn't big money for a display that I was thinking of. Now, what it actually is, it's a vintage bloody briefcase. It's that size. There was no sizes up on it. The way they had taken the pictures, it was from miles away. So it looked like a proper suitcase. So we all do get caught sometimes. But look, at the end of the day, I'll make it work. I know somebody that I'm going to gift this to because he will make better use of it than I will. So yeah, so there we go. So little vintage suitcase, briefcase / yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, John. No, perfect, my bunker. Thank you. My MRT, hello from Sweden. Hello, how are you? Military radio room north of Sweden. Hello, how are you? I do actually have a radio that I need to do a video on, a British radio. So yeah, so we should get that up and going. Actually, I've got a book on the way from Norway on German helmets, 1916 to 1945. Wasn't cheap. I actually have gotten a fairly good book collection now of items, and I have one book, I believe, on the actual German World War II military. Most of the stuff I have is on British World War II, or it's Op Banner or Vietnam, Australian Vietnam. Now there's only one or two Australian books that I have, and they're mainly biographies. They're not actually reference books. Well, I suppose reference book or a biography can be a reference book as well. But most of my reference books are Op Banner and World War II related. Um, trying to listen as much as possible as I am unloading the NAM stuff from a trailer into the shed. Oh yeah, your dad was telling me that you were at a show or at a display this weekend, which I hope went well for you. As I said, I've been under the weather the last few days. I'm a lot better now. I just tell it my nose is still all blocked up and stuff. But yeah, trying to find a PRC 25 or 77, but they are crazy expensive. I had one. I had a 77 set, PRC 77 set, but Command Bunker now has it. So there you go. If you had let me know sooner, the display looked great. Command Bunker saw it on Instagram. I must have a look actually if it's on Instagram and stuff. Must give it a Google. Oh. So how has everyone been keeping it anyway? Has anyone got any really interesting items that they have found for their collection? Gary Hall, who is there somewhere, has kindly decided he was going to part from a unicorn, which is the Enniskillen Fusiliers carbine. Now, I was looking through my box. Oh, pardon me, I'm really tired today. I was looking through my box of military headdress, and as far as I know, unless I go to like the Canadian Irish and the South African Irish and these ones, there, believe it or not, there are regiments from those, especially during World War II. I think the South African Irish wasn't disbanded up until fairly recently, but he has managed to find me the Enniskillen Fusiliers carbine, and I believe it is the only one I need for the Irish collection. So I have the Rangers, the Royal Irish Rangers. I have the Royal Irish Rifles. I have the Royal Ulster Rifles. I have the Belfast University Officers one, Training Officers one. I have a Medical Officers one. I have a UDR beret. I have an Irish Guards beret. I have a Queen's Royal Irish Hussars. So the only ones that I think that I'm short are the North Irish horse, which I believe is still in existence, and the London Irish. They're the only two regiments I believe that I don't have headdress for yet. Modern enough regiments that I don't have headdress for yet. And then when I have that done, so what's that? What I said that is three regiments, two regiments. Sorry, North Irish Horse, because the South Irish Horse was disbanded in 1922. So North Irish Horse and the London Irish. So once I have them two, I believe I have all the rest of them, and then I will concentrate on getting the disbanded regiments from 1922, which would be the likes of your Connacht Rangers, starting at the bottom, Royal Ulster Rifles, Connacht Rangers, Royal Irish Regiment, but they were refloated later on, but they were disbanded then because they were actually the Royal Ulster Rifles, and then the Royal Ulster Rifles was formed, the Dublin Fusiliers and the Leinster Regiment and the South Irish Horse. And then you had like cavalry units like the Irish Dragoon Guards and things like that. Sorry, I have the Enniskillens as well. The Enniskillen Dragoon Guards. I have their beret, but the cavalry regiments I don't have. I'm just trying to get all the line units first, and then we'll see about it. But I think that would be good, and then have rather than put them on headdresses, because they'd all be the same general service cap. I will put them in a picture frame, maybe, rather than anything like that. So yeah. David, hello, chat. Hello, that fella. Hi, David. How are you? David Brennan is here. Command Bunker, have the whole housing estate giving me weird looks as I sit in a small trailer with a Mark 6 on my head as I keep hitting my head off the roof of the trailer. Well, if it works, it works. If it works, it works. Stan is saying hello to David. Late again, Jim Timbers here. I'm like the White Rabbit. Expect none of my dates are important. Hope your internet works out. Gary's giving out the command bunker. Everyone is saying hello to Stan and saying hello to each other. Command bunker is calling for Gary to come out and help him. Hi everyone. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Superman? It is indeed. It is Jim Timber. And Kenny's in now as well. So try not to fire at Kenny, guys, please. I think everybody here now is basically an admin anyway. Vast majority of people are admins. My MRT's not an admin. Change that. Have it all blue. Hang on a minute now. Oh, there we go. My MRT is now a standard administrator. Oh, so everybody's the same rank in here. We don't discriminate against anybody. Yeah, so as I said, an awful lot of the guys I know from like the Living History UK guys and stuff like that, they're all in the Victory show this weekend. If any of you are going there, say hello to them. And an awful lot of the guys that I know from the combined Living History Forces group, the likes of Andy Johnson and them, they are in Beamish. In I think it's Scotland. Is it Scotland? Is Beamish Scotland? It's up north anyway somewhere. So if you're going to either two of them shows, go find the boys and say hello and tell them I sent you. And then the following weekend, I will be in We Have Ways. Never been there before. We Have Ways. I believe it's a very high-end show, a very top-end show. So we'll see. It should be good. It's ran by the comedian that used to be the Landlord. He used to do that Landlord show. Al Murray and some other guy. I can't. He's sort of famous as well for doing documentaries and things. It's World War II only, so we will be there with Les Parachutiste as second SAS. We do first and second with the Les Parachutiste. So yeah, we will be there. I'm not sure. I believe it's high end. The lads, a lot of the lads, that went to Les Parachutiste or Les Paras from Living History UK have never been there neither. So it's going to be a new experience for us. So we'll see what it's like. Dave Brennan, fine Jim has some good kills at Military Odyssey. Dave, were you at Military Odyssey? Because I know some of the boys were there as well. I'm definitely putting it in my calendar for next year because I was told it was a fantastic show. Missed last week as at a festival, no problem, Kenny. Fully refreshed. I keep dropping a spanner on my foot, Jim. That's a bit of a silly thing to do. David Brennan, Durham. Oh, is that where Beamish is? Beamish is in Durham. Beamish make a good stout. They do make a good stout, actually. It's been a while since I've had a Beamish. Yeah, Beamish about 45 minutes from me. but I'm tied up this weekend. No, 30 jokes, please. Would I do something like that? Oh, Spec! Hello, how are you? Good evening, all. How's she cutting? Just cutting good. Old Spec, how are you keeping? So yeah, so that's my plans for the next few weeks. This evening, I hope to be doing some video shoots. Keep it clean, guys. Some content for YouTube videos this weekend. I'll be doing some tonight and some tomorrow, and hopefully on Sunday I will be doing some type of a documentary that I can have everything lined up. I have videos still ready to go for when I'm in England next week. I just want to have a live stream, so I will probably have a regular video on the Friday, the Saturday, and Sunday. There will be no live stream next week, guys. If you're here, obviously, because I will be in England. Actually, I'll probably be heading for Dublin at this point in time to get the ferry to go to England. Well, no, Friday, no, I'll be there. I'm going Thursday night, Friday morning. So I'll be there. I'll be in England at this stage, next Friday. I was Observer Corps. I actually found this today. Gary Hall, I don't know if you're interested in it because it wasn't in the stuff I was showing you earlier on. Civil Defence, King's Crown. Are they still around, actually, the Civil Defence? They are in Ireland. There is a Civil Defence, and they actually fall under the Department of Defence as well. There is a Civil Defence in Ireland. I don't know if there still is in England, but there is definitely one in Ireland. And that's pretty much the same as they were in Ireland. Anyway, it's the same as they were. They're involved in like search and rescue, auxiliary firemen, flood relief, things like that. So they're still there here anyway. I don't know if they're still in the UK, but they are definitely still here in Ireland, the Civil Defence. Doesn't help that half the stuff in the bunker is Gary's. The trailer is Gary's. Well, like I mean, he eats, he feeds you, he houses you, and stuff like that. So snap to it. Wasn't the UK one stood down after the end of the Cold War in 1992? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I know that they're disbanded or they're still in Ireland. I'm just wondering, are they still in the UK? Not in North that I am aware, John. My mother was in the Civil Defence in the 60s. Oh, so they were still there up until the 60s. Oh, okay. It's weird. Like it's a whole different rabbit hole when you go down. Because I was looking into it. Because some of the guys from the Combined Forces Limited History Group, they actually do civil defence and things like that for their Second World War. But like you had Order of Malta, you had Red Cross, you had the wardens, the air raid wardens, you had the ARP, you had auxiliary fire people, you had auxiliary firemen, you had these guys, the civil defence. There was a huge war of them there, and they were all badged uniform members. It must have been like a checkerboard when you were in London and places like that, and walking around and seeing all these different uniforms. And then when you had like the different contingents as well. I'd love to have known how interesting it would have been to just take a walk down with her. Say to be in London and sit in Times, or not like Times Square. What's the big one in London? The big square in London. Oh, Piccadilly Circus. Just sit there and watch people, and look at all these different uniforms, different nationalities. You would have had. You would have had South Africans, Africans, Jamaicans, Caribbean people, Americans, Irish, it would have been just this wealth of people in uniform, and it would have been just interesting to watch. Sorry, guys, I went off on a rant there. I think the Royal Observer Corps died of death in the 90s. Hello, Rifle Green. I know that it isn't Hat Green. It's an old Royal Observers Corps bunker, if I remember. Is it nuclear? It's a nuclear bunker. But I think that was operated and manned by the Royal Observer Corps. I presume they died away after the Cold War, the Royal Observer Corps. I just hate the like button because I like you. In fact, the civil defence was stood down in the UK in the late 60s. I'm thinking of the people in the nuclear bunkers observation corps, maybe. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm happy enough watching John's live and drinking a brew. Keep going. You're young. That's the way Gary bet. At least give us a hand with the big silver box, like. You have two arms, one on either end, and away you go. There was Royal Observer Corps in Northern Ireland, knew a few who were in it. There is a preserved bunker near Portadown, County Armagh. Opens a few days a year. Oh, okay. Need to investigate that stuff. I'd love to actually. I know Derry, Londonderry / whichever way you want to call it, guys. You know me now at this stage. I'm not bloody political, and I don't really care. There was a Royal Naval Base in Derry, if I remember correctly, and it was the main school for the British Navy and the American Navy for training anti-submarine warfare. Now, I'd love to go up there and I'd love to do some World War II videos in the north. I could do up banner ones up there every day of the week if I wanted. And I know people on the channel have been asking me to do more up banner documentaries and stuff like that, and to do kit layouts and stuff like that, which I'm hopefully going to do soon. I need to talk to that man, Rifle Green, and I need to talk to Gary Hall, and I need to talk to a few other guys up there and actually sit down, have a proper meeting with them. I'll probably do it in the off season. It's looking like I was hoping to get to Aidencroft, but it's looking like next weekend will be my last show in England for this year. So I should have a bit more time, and I'll try and sit down with those guys, have a meeting up the north, meet up with them someday, and actually sit down, trash it out. I want to do one on Paddy Mayne, obviously famous Paddy Mayne, where he was killed and things like that, and his old home house, which I believe is still there. A couple of up banner ones, but I want to do some World War II stuff as well, because fascinating. The history in Northern Ireland is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Not just World War II. I mean, I could go back. I don't want to, but I mean, you could go back to King Billy and the Battle of the Boyne and all this type of stuff, and that gets way too political then when you go back that far. So we'll see. Anyone got an EU spec DIAC bolt rifle? If so, what are your thoughts? Gary Hall has a Mark IV, I believe. That's EU spec. I would, but the box weighs about triple huge. Oh god, yeah, it's a bit heavy then. Don't give yourself a hernia. Rifle Green, I'm an and I didn't know that. You know when it opens. Hat Green was a regional government bunker. Okay. For continuity of the government. Okay. So it wasn't an Observer Corps one. Sorry, I'm just gonna check something here. 1 second. Keep talking amongst yourself, guys. I'm just trying to look it up. There is I can't remember what they're officially called. But there's these numbers with ERA underneath them. Or ERA with a number underneath it, I should say, sorry. And they're all over the coast. There's one of them after being redone somewhere. And I was reading a news article today, and I'm trying to look up the news article about it. Because it would be interesting to do a video on it. It would be interesting to do a video on it if I could remember where it was. Because there was actually a corridor, what's called a corridor, whereas planes could fly over without getting interference. And I'm just after seeing. Yeah, so I don't know where it is though. It's not. It's down south somewhere. But yeah, I think because I have a drone now, I could fly over and do a video of one of them as well. Yeah. Gary, where are you at? He's Armagh town, Armagh city, whatever it is. Hutch Drive. Don't give out names on the bloody things on each other. Paddyman trip to Newtownards, his grave place. His grave place, he was killed. School statue in the town square. There's a restaurant there as well, actually. You're around that area, aren't you? Newtownards, Rifle Green, yeah. I am going to Enniskillen this weekend. I don't know if it's short notice to meet up with you around Enniskillen or something, for a coffee or something. But some other day maybe we'll arrange something and just sit down and actually trash things out. Cheers, Gary. So it's cycles. Cheers, Gary. Cycles okay, but it doesn't dry fire. I'm looking to get a P14 or a P17. No, I think that's what the new EU one specs. You can rack it, cock it, the whole lot, but there's no click, if I remember correctly. Got a box slid to the back of the trailer, just waiting on Gary to call out. That's the place, Kenny. Those signs with ERA are at Slieve Lock, Donegal. Yes, there's one up there as well. There is one up there. I was originally from near Newtownards. Oh, okay, right, that's cool. Definitely have to meet up, and I definitely have to. I know there was a guy that was running a museum up there for Paddy Main, but I think there's a bit of controversy over that. And I think he had to give all the stuff back that the family had given him, if I remember. I remember reading something about it. So I don't know if there's that. I know there's a calf in Newtownards, Paddy Main's calf, but it's not actually Paddy Main's calf. They just have the name Paddy Main's calf. And the garage that worked on his car had a reproduction of an Africa Jeep, if I remember correctly. And I think there was a guy doing like a little small little guided tour of that. He knew where the home house was, where he was killed, where the crash site was, and things like that. But if I have Rifle Green with me, I don't need to worry about a local guide because I have a local guide. Jude, hello, Jude. Jude, you're Irishman. Can you remember reading in the paper recently about the ERA signs with the number underneath the one that was after being finished and were after reconstructing it or reconditioning it, I suppose is the proper word. I think it was down south. Something in my head is saying Kerry, but I can't remember. Stan, if you're looking for a live or DIAC P14 or P17, Stan would probably be looking for a DIAC. I don't think he has the licensing or has the facilities to have a live. We can't talk about live stuff online, guys. We learned that lesson the last time, and we got booted for a while. So yeah. Actually, question. Rifle Green, now that you're here, okay. What is the stance on holding a PSNI uniform? I have a hat. I have a hat. I have a PSNI hat. I'll admit to that. I have a PSNI hat, right? Because what I'm thinking is there's a company in England that do reproduction, theatre reproduction, and movie reproduction uniforms. And they do a Royal Irish Constabulary one. So I'm thinking in my own head, right, for when I get the new room, the new man cave war room sorted, right, is I want to have a continuation. So I have my RUC man, which is here, right, complete uh, as is. So what I was thinking is if I could have an RIC, Royal Irish Constabulary mannequin, Royal Ulster Constabulary mannequin, and a PSNI mannequin. But I'm not too sure on the legal requirements for a PSNI uniform. I have seen the hats for sale and stuff, so I presume they're kosher. Just the uniform, I don't know, because you can't have a guard. Sorry, you can't have an issue uniform of guards. So now the guards have changed their uniforms, right? In Ireland, the Garda Síochána, the local guards, they've gone to like a polo shirt type thing. So you'll see. So you can't have that version of the uniform, but you can have the previous version of that uniform, which was the blue shirt, tie, a big bloody high vis jacket and stuff like that. Um, so you can't have that version, and you can have you can't have the newest version, but you can have had previous versions. That's the law. Um, Same with the Irish military. You can't have their previous issues. You can't have their current issue items, but they sort of turn the blind eye to the previous issue items, if you get me. Um, so yeah, I don't know what way the law is, but that was just me thinking outside my head. Um, you just deactivated that mosquito. I did. I flattened him. Jude signed the act for me, Jude. Gary Hall, Warriors remember John, but I heard he has got somewhere in Newtonards, mate, and still has it all yet, mate. Ah, okay. So there is an actual museum there, Penny Main Museum. Just like yeah, don't they renew the one near Wexford town that got bombed? Ah, is that the one that they did? Oh, okay, so it's Wexford. I'm way off with Kerry, so. Um, Two things. Basically, I had a P14 bayonet for years and I thought it was time to attach it to a rifle. Whew. Gary Hall, no stand. Mine has cock and dry fires, mate, but have another, but it doesn't. So it on. Ah, okay. P14 is a nice bang stick I have off one. Okay. This old helmet. Hello, everyone. Hello, this old helmet. How are you, Juice Stein? Irish rules was totally different because of dissonance. Most other places aren't as up their own. Yes, and look, I genuinely I see why there is a law there, and I understand why there is a law there. So yeah. Good evening, Stan. Still having a stand, Gary Hall. Okay, I'm hopefully going to a military affair soon. Are you going to? Oh God, I can't think of the name of it now. I know Andrew, the boys were talking about going to it. It's up that direction somewhere. Starts with an S. Military affair soon. Bolt action, dry fire as I just wanted. How operated worked, I suppose. Oh, okay. Command bunker. So same with my deactivated M16. It does cock and dry fire, unfortunately, so pain on getting a Denix one too. Okay, so yours doesn't cocker fire, I think. Jim Timber, this old helmet. Hello, mate. Still have a stand. Hello, this old helmet. Rifle Green. The PS9 uniform was supposed to be returned on leaving. Uniform with police emblems are supposed to be returned. Items with no emblems are supposed to be cut up. PS9 uniform. The PS9 uniform was updated. Okay. So basically, you're not supposed to have a PS9 uniform. Is what you're basically saying. I'll keep an eye out for a slew P14 for you, Stan. Scotch Corner, that's the one. Military Fair. Just Lions have a pop off. DM me if you're stuck. Gary Hall, if it cocks and dry fire, Stan, mate, it's definitely worth it. Cheers to thanks, mate. Jim Timber. This old helmet needs to be promoted. Then I can stop dropping my spanner on my foot. Jim Timber, I'm not that responsible. Okay, we'll promote him. There we go. I made my MRT a moderator and then he disappeared wherever he went. So we'll give it another 15 minutes, guys, roughly. We'll head to bed. This will help. Thanks. There you go. We'll head to bed. I'm actually quite tired. As I said, I haven't been feeling well the last few days, as you can tell by me blowing my nose constantly. I think Jim Timber is multitasking, one eye on the screen and the other hand on his binoculars. Wouldn't surprise me. Although he lives in the countryside, so all he'll see is trees. Probably. Actually, you are Mr. Jim of the Timbers. You are in Poland. Is it noticeable on how much? Because every time you turn on the news, the Polish seem to have bought some other piece of military equipment off of some other nation, and they're hugely arming and pumping massive money into their army. Is it noticeable on the ground that they're doing this? You don't have to tell me where you were or tell us where you were or anything like that, but just is it, as a as an English person living in Poland, is it noticeable the amount of money that is being pumped into the defence forces or the military in Poland at the minute? So aren't they after F-22 Raptors now as well at the moment? I think they give all their jets to Ukraine and stuff, which is a bit crazy. I've never heard it called that before. Still understand Gary Hall. Yeah, I've got 2 German K98s, 2 Lee Enfields, so I suppose after all these years of watching Dad's Army, I'm thinking I have to get one. Referee Gary Hall. That bunker is in Portdown, opens once a year. I'm trying to think what other World War II. There's definitely that big barracks in Derry, naval base in Derry. See, the problem is that an awful lot of the historical sites and World War II sites in Northern Ireland are overshadowed, shall we say, by stuff during the Troubles, the off-banner stuff, which is a bit of a nuisance. But railways got hacked via a radio signal in Poland recently. Railways got hacked by a radio signal in Poland recently. Did not know that. There's a massive amount of recruitment and youngsters are encouraged to join the military. This is since the invasion of Crimea in 2014. The Polish budget for arms is huge now, could be the largest. Oh, okay. Cheers, Rifle Green, we'll check it out. It's largest in Europe. Yeah, I know that because where I live, there's a couple of Polish lads nearby, and one guy has two younger brothers still in Poland, and they both have gone into the military. I don't know whether they had to or whether they volunteered to go, but they both went back. They both went into the military anyway. So I'm not sure what's the story, whether it was conscription or national service or what it was. They're very well paid. Oh, okay. The army's very well paid in Poland. That's good. That's good, I suppose, that they look after them. Right, guys, it is 8:45. I just looked there. So we'll give it another 5 minutes. You can start throwing some questions at me, and we'll see what happens. Gary's Fort north of Down, however, it has been closed since COVID, 2001 and World War II fortification at Helens Bay, County Down. I'd love to get up to the. I must. I have a few people trying to find contacts for me because I believe it can still be done, and I've seen people do it. Is they've gotten onto the big, huge helicopter base in the north that was. Oh, I can't think of the name now off the top of my head, but it was the biggest helicopter base in the world at one stage. And apparently, when the lads left it, they left it. So the stuff. Breezebrook, that's the one. When lads left it, they just left it. So you still have pictures, signs, stuff like that on the wall. I'd love to get in and do a video of that place. I have people trying to find me contacts for it, but I haven't heard anything back yet. It makes sense given how Russia is acting and foolishly. Yeah, it does. It does. The Polish sort of said after the Second World War that they'll never, after they got their freedom, that they'd never go that way there again. My Polish mate at work is worried he will be called back into service. He did his national service in 1992. He's my age, and I don't reckon he will get a call. You'd be surprised. Sure, what was the call up in Ukraine? Is everybody between 18 and 65 or 18 and 60 or something like that? So you can be surprised if they need you, they need you. Kelly Rebel, they're in training to occupy. Breezebrook, yes, Breezebrook. That's the place I'd love to try and get into. Jim Timber, if they bring their beer, I will help them invade. Been there a few times, you lucky bugger. Grace Fort, John, mate. Well worth a visit. Do they still have the museum underground there, Rifle Green? Still have a stand. You will find me at the back of the cat truck. Jim Timber had drank it all. Grace Fort has been closed since COVID. Bugger. Oh, man. Right, guys, so that's it. It's 8:45. We'll sign off. We've been on for 45 minutes. We'll sign off. Have a good one. Have a safe weekend. As I said, I won't be around next weekend. I will be in England. So if you're at the We Have Ways show, guys, I will see you there. If not, be the following Friday. I will have videos and content up during the week. So have fun, guys. Stay safe. Hope everyone is keeping well. Rifle Green, I will give you an email over the weekend, and we'll sit down and have a chat about some future plans and things like that. It'll be good to pick your brain on things. Gary, I will see you over the weekend, tomorrow more than likely, and we will talk. Have a great weekend, everyone. Night all. See you tomorrow, John, mate. Yeah, exactly. Command Bunker. See you all. Yeah. David, cheers, fellas. Have a good one, Rifle Green. No problem. Cheers, everyone. Take care. That's it, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves and have a safe weekend, and I'll see you all.